Hello and welcome to this short video on how to use the Immersive Engineering Excavator. This is the large automatic mining machine from Immersive Engineering. First thing that you're going to need is the engineer's manual from Immersive Engineering. It has a very good explanation about all these machines. You can craft this just by using a lever and a book. It's very accessible early on. To build a mining machine you're going to require several things. Steel scaffolding, which is a lot of steel, and the steel fence is even more steel, and you can use steel from other mods. As you can see here, I've got Railcraft installed and Engineer's Toolbox, that's the ET resources, so you can use any steel. You're going to need some heavy engineering blocks, which again is more steel, some pistons, electrum, some of these things which is even more steel. So you get the picture. You're going to need a lot of steel, you're going to need some light engineering blocks, and you're going to need some blocks of steel, which is even more steel, and then you're going to require a power source. You're going to need quite a lot of power for this, and then the last thing you're going to need is an engineer's hammer, which is just a few bits of iron, a couple of bits of iron, a piece of string, a couple of sticks. But before you get on to building the machine, there's something else you need to do. If you look in the engineer's manual in the tools and machinery section, you'll see there's an excavator here, and it shows you the multi-block structure, and it's quite a sight. These arrows here let you look at individual levels, and there's a stop button in the middle which stops it from cycling up and down. So as you can see there's quite a lot. Okay, and there's two parts to it. So this is the bucket wheel, and that's the main machine. However, before you even do that, you've got to basically prospect each individual chunk, because it doesn't mine the overworld ores. It basically makes the ores up, and you can tell that from this world because I am on a 3-layer dirt and bedrock. There is no ores in this world at all. It is all bedrock. If you look in the engineer's manual under overview and resources and look at mineral deposits, this basically gives you the gist of how to find the mineral veins. It's nothing, like I said, to do with the actual ore in the world itself, the ore blocks. So the deposit of the ore found around your world are nothing new to you. What you've so far left out of consideration, though, are mineral veins, which contain a mix of different ores. Due to their wide and thin spread, the average miner can't find them, but a special machine might be able to assist with that. And this is what you need to build first, the core sample drill, and it's made up basically of quite a bit of steel, some iron and some copper. And to determine minerals in the world, you'll want to craft a core sample drill, which is this machine. When powered, will drill a chunk into the chunk and determine which minerals can be found here. The drill consumes 40 RF a tick, takes 600 ticks, so that's the 32,000 RF that it will use to complete one operation, and to fully retrieve and analyse a sample. And then it lists on the following pages. So if you find an ore vein, your excavator will mine out iron, ferrous, tin, and because I've got dense ore mods in on this, it will mine the dense ore as well. So you can see here the minerals and the composite makeup of what you're going to find in each type of vein. And I'm just wondering actually if there is a diamond one. It doesn't look like it mines diamonds at all. Did I miss diamonds? Copper, ferrous, dense gold, iron. Nope, doesn't mine diamonds at all, unless that's something else. Anyway, so first of all you need to take one of these core sample drill. If you notice in the top right corner, I'll just zoom in a little bit, I've put the chunk grid up so you can see. So you put down one of these per chunk and then give it some power. I'm going to use the Ender.io capacitor banks, you can just drop one at the side of it there and you'll see the animation of the drill head going down into the floor. And you can right click on this and it'll give you a progress report and tell you which chunk that you've been in, which is good, because if you're doing lots of chunks you don't want to come back and end up going back over the same ones over and over again. So you can see it's coming back up again, and then when it's finally completed, it tells us in this case that there are no minerals found. So let's move on and let's try this one here. Got a feeling lucky here. Oops, missed. I've just spoken with Blue Sunrise, one of the two mod makers, and the actual vein is randomized based on coordinates and world seed is what he said. So although I have got a pattern in this world, this pattern may not be the same in your world. So I know for a fact that there's going to be minerals in this chunk because of prior drilling that I've done. And there you can see there is a bauxite vein. So if we go back to our manual and have a look, bauxite, this will yield just aluminium ore. And now the drill head's finished, we should see we've got there a vein of magnetite. Let's build the excavator here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the chunk boundary edges, because we need to make sure we build the excavator inside the chunk. Okay, so that'll do. Right, this is a three layered multi-block. Now I've actually got this on my other screen to make this a little bit quicker rather than referring back to the manual each time. So we need to build the bottom layer. As you can see there, if you hover over the blocks it tells you which ones they are. But for sake of the speed I'm not going to keep referring to the book. I've got it on the screen next to me. So let's just go for this. We've got 2 iron and 1 there. And we've got a light engineering block there, and then we switch to heavies here, here and here, heavy here and here, block of steel here, then heavy, heavy and a light in the middle. That's layer 1. Layer 2, we have a block of steel here, here, there and there, and then have lights here, here, 3 on the end there, and then heavy ones there, and these 3 here, and then the last level on top, not quite as complete, don't get caught out. Oops, not there. 2 steel blocks there and there. We have a light there and there. And we have 2 heavies there, block of steel here, and then on this top layer what we have here is block of steel there, and then 3 of these steel scaffoldings on the end here. And there is nothing there and there, oops, and there. Just put that block back. Now if you take the engineer's hammer, I won't be able to do this in creative, and you right click this middle block here, if you've done it right it'll form like that. Now you can't form this then make the bucket and form the bucket, but I'll show you how to do it this way because I find it easier. The wheel, which is on the next page, that centre block there, okay, goes right just there. So that's the centre block, and then after that we need to get underneath, not to break the bedrock and fall into the void. Okay, so for this, again, I've got it on the other screen, but you can refer back to the book. It's scaffolding, steel. You can do it this way, there's no problem, and then I'll show you how to form it all after. Or you can build both the engine and the wheel, and then form it all in one go. It's up to you. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we've got let's see, 3 in the middle with a block on each end. And then right in the middle at the bottom, another block. Then on the top, we repeat again. Like I say, it's all in the book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3 with a block. Oh. A block and a block. Now, if you, I've not tried this actually, but I'll try it now before I do this. If you obviously need to come out creative, if you right click that block there, you'll see that the wheel still isn't doing anything. Okay, so what you actually have to do is you have to break a block and deform this, or unform it back into its normal block like that, and then put back the block that you took out, and then hit it, right click it with the hammer again, and this time you'll see that the buckets have actually formed. And look at that, isn't that wonderful? So you can build the engine and then build the bucket, but just break any block on the engine to deform it, and then reform it again, and it forms back as the bucket. Okay, there are 3 things to note. Firstly, this here on the back with the hole is the output, so all your ores are going to come out there. I have tried connecting conduit, cables, pipes, whatever. Nothing seems to connect to this. So what you're going to need to do here is to take a chest, and it will drop straight to the chest, and from that you can feed off to whatever using pipes. This here is for a redstone signal. You can put a lever on there, turn the machine on and off. By default it's on, so you'd have to put a lever on and flick it to turn it off. And then these 3 things here are your power connections. Now for this I'm going to use Ender IO energy conduit. This takes a lot of power, this machine. In the book it tells you that it requires I think it's 4096 RF to operate. Okay, so I'm going to use a creative, wherever they are, creative capacitor bank. So we've got endless supply of power. Plunk that down, and then immediately you'll see it starts excavating, and the first thing it will do is it will remove some of the dirt from underneath the machine. Now it doesn't take many blocks away. From what I can gather, it's 3 blocks that side, I think it's 4 down the middle, and 3 blocks that side. It might actually, I think it took those out over there, and then it starts putting the ore in, and look at that lovely animation. That's great. I think that's absolutely superb. Wonderful. And then it starts outputting into your chest, and you can actually work out, look, there's the gold, there's the iron. Just simply by watching it you can see what ore it's actually digging up. Okay, and that is just a short version on how to get the excavator to work. This vein within this chunk, it basically says in the book that you can mine, as the excavator digs up ores, the yield of the vein will slowly decrease, but a vein of minerals can last up to 144 days of consecutive digging. So it's going to last quite a while. It's going to take a lot of power to run. So it's not cheap. There's a good offset here, I think. for what it actually does for you. And it is quite quick. That is quite quick. Right, before I did all this, I started building and I left one running in a lapis vein over here, just to see how much ore we could get out. So first thing we'll do is we'll just run this the drill again, just to see how much of the actual vein has been depleted, and then I'll show you what it's pulled out. Actually, that looks like it's pulling nothing out, so maybe it's gone already. That'd be surprising. Oh, okay, maybe that's just a slight glitch with the graphics. It is still mining stuff. It seems to be emptying the bucket down the bottom rather than up at the top. See the lapis coming through and the iron, which it was pulling out as well. Seems to be that iron is quite common. So 97.92 left in the vein. It's not been going that long, as you can see, and we've already pulled out this. Now I've densors installed, so it pulls densors out too, and you can see there we've got a whole lot of lapis and a whole lot of iron. Oh, and some sulfur. I thought that was gold for a second, but it's not, it's sulfur. So that's basically how to build the excavator, how to get it going, and like I said, you can, if you wish, turn it on and off with the stick a lever on there, flick it, and you'll see it just stops, and then turn it back on again. So it's got redstone control. You don't need to hook up to all three of these. There's a reason why there's three on the side, and that will become evident when you get into the power of Immersive Engineering mod itself. So yeah, so I hope that kind of explains it all, and yeah, good luck and happy mining. Thanks for watching.